Hello, and welcome back to the podcast, The Hayley Osborne Show. I am Hayley, I am your host, and this is episode 171. Holy mazzoli, oh my goodness. Today I'm going to be talking about the three pillars of a magnetic marketing strategy, okay, for health brands. And before I get into the episode today, I want to address something that I actually haven't addressed so far is the intro to my podcast. And I just realized that I didn't address it when I changed it over. And to be honest with you and to call a spade, I wanted to change it over as soon as I sort of announced that I was transitioning into supporting health brands. But what happened was I recorded the podcast episode, and then when I had finished recording, I was like, oh, I'm going to change it up now. And so I just, when I edited it, I didn't include the intro and the outro that I normally do. Instead, I just put new music in and I worked out the way to fade it. So I do everything myself because I think that it's not hard when you know how. And I love tech. And so I taught myself. And it sounds really good. Well, I think it does. Let me know if you think it does. But the change of music really, I think, supported the change to focus more on health brands. And so the fade is really nice. There's no like formal intro that you like know all the words to every single week. I think that I like to listen to podcasts that just get straight into the info. There's no beating around the bush. I think it supports my personality and the way that I show up as a brand in terms of there's no gray area. Okay, so I'm black, I'm white, and that's it. Okay, but I'm not, there's a messy middle, but there's no, what am I trying to say? Like I'm a straight shooter. And so by changing it up and just getting straight into it, it just cuts the crap. And so I think it works. It works for me. It would be so much easier for me to dump an intro and an outro in there. But now I have to like fade it and do all the things. And I don't worry about the end either because I feel like people skip that. And so this is a really nice change. So I hope you like the new music. It's been around for a few weeks now and I haven't actually addressed it. And I keep forgetting because I just want to get into it because, like I have a time frame. I have, uh, you know, the little people. And when I come in to record this podcast, I just have to do it. And so, anyway, I was like, oh my God, when you record the next episode, Hayley, you need to address that you changed the music, you changed everything about the podcast. And the funniest thing is that it has grown a lot. Maybe it's a byproduct of me changing things and just getting straight to the point. I don't know, but either way, it's working. We're sticking with it. So, funny thing today, not funny thing, but to continue on from last week, I wanted to talk about the three pillars of magnetic marketing strategy and what makes it magnetic and what you need for health brands. Okay. So we've been talking a lot lately about marketing that feels good, marketing that supports your energy, marketing that supports your rhythm, your values. And today I want to give that beautiful feels based energy some structure because that's what we need. Because when you combine alignment, when you combine that energy with clear, intentional strategy, that's when your marketing becomes magnetic. Okay, so there is a flow. So in this episode, I'm sharing the three foundational pillars of what I call a magnetic marketing strategy, especially for health brands who want to grow without compromising your integrity, your time, or your well-being. Because let's face it, and I know from supporting the health brands that I currently do, they are giving all day long. And so what happens is when they go to look after their marketing, they're already kind of depleted from the day and their energy is gone. So it's about bringing that back in and focusing on making this feel good for your well-being too, because you give so much of your energy out. All right. So let's get into it. The first pillar is the clarity of your message. Okay. And this is where it all begins. And if your message isn't clear, then your clients, the people that you want to be in front of, they won't feel seen. Because at the end of the day, when you show up in your marketing, it is about them, not about you. And that's the strategy part. That's where you have to get really clever. So your message instantly, and you can hear it in my voice that I am so passionate about this subject because I love it. I live, I breathe it every day in how I support my clients, is instantly, you need to share who you help, what transformation you provide, and why you're the right fit. Okay, so who you help, the transformation, and why you're the right fit. So it really is like the market that you serve, the transformation that you provide, the problem that you solve, and yeah, the outcome. I said it around the wrong way. I have a framework in my business that I call MAPS. It's my MAPS framework. It is market, audience, problem, and solution. Okay, but to simplify that is who do you help? All right. What is the transformation that you provide? And why are you the right fit for your audience? Okay. If someone lands on your socials, website, your podcast, for example, do they immediately get you? Do they understand who you are? And if they don't, you've got work to do, and that's okay. As a health professional, I think that people are often coming to you in pretty vulnerable moments. Okay. And I've supported a lot of health professionals, some in holistic, like naturopaths, some in mindset, some in counseling, psychotherapy. I've supported other types of well-being businesses like massage therapists, yoga coaches, and these are all, to me, they follow the same kind of inputs and outputs. Okay, so that's the reason why I've chosen to niche down on health brands, because I have just worked with so many health brands, nutritionists, that I was starting to see a pattern, and I think that it was silly for me not to have done this a lot sooner. I know, it's just the way it is. So we digress, but when someone lands in your world, do they immediately get you? And, you are somebody's safe space. So the clearer that your message is, the more safe, the more confident, and the more certain that they feel reaching out to you to be able to help them with whatever it is that you help them with. Okay. Clarity equals trust, and trust equals sales, and sales equal booked out time slots and booked out clinics. Okay. Trust is the foundation of growth. Clarity equals trust that's for every brand as well. So, just think about that. Okay. Trust is the foundation for growth. The second pillar is consistency of your presence. Okay. This one is all about visibility, but in a way that works for you. It's not about being everywhere. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that. It's about being somewhere consistently. Okay. So depending on what you do will depend on the platform that you show up in. Okay. And, also what you vibe with. Okay. Because Instagram might not be for you. That's cool. Don't use it. LinkedIn might be for you. Use that. Okay. Because you're more likely to lean in and outperform everyone else of your competitors when it feels right for you, because awkward is visible. All right. So remember that. It's not about being everywhere. It's about being somewhere a lot. And I think whether that's your weekly content, whether it is coming up in a regular email, whether it is showing up on, your stories, you're putting your face out there, I think it's the rhythm that creates the resonance. So it's the rhythm that creates the resonance. And I'll tell you, I love an amazing alliteration. And also, why does it even matter? I think because clients don't always reach out the moment that they find you. Okay. A lot of the times they watch, they observe, they're lurking in the background. That's what happens with me. People are watching, they're learning, they're understanding me as a person, understanding my smarts, understanding, well, am I the right fit for them? And then they wait until they're ready. So sometimes I've had in the past discovery calls with clients and they're like, yep, 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 yep. And then when I send them the information that I need to get started, they're like, oh, hang on a minute. I've got lots of work to do. I'm not going to be able to do this in the time frame that I need to. And so, they hold back and then they show up again when they're ready, which is usually not that long. And I think that there's power in that. Okay. There's power in being consistent, often, 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 and being available when your ideal client is ready to come and see you. Okay. Because your consistency says that you're here. It says that you're relatable. It says that you care. Okay. It says that you actually give a shit. And I think when you show up for people, eventually they'll show up with you. Okay. And they will be your client. The third one I want to talk about is connection with intent. Okay, so what does that even mean? It means connection more than engagement. Okay, it's how you emotionally connect and resonate with people that are meant to be in your world, right? With your dream clients. And it comes from intention. What is your intent? So ask yourself, are you just posting for the sake of it? Or are you actually speaking something real? Okay. Because posting for the sake of it is panic posting, which means that you don't have a strategy, which is a pretty big problem. Are you teaching, showing up to just teach to tick a box? Okay. Because teaching like 7 ways to blah, blah, like boring, it's been done, it doesn't connect with people. I think you're better off sharing something meaningful. Okay. Or are you showing up to impress? Okay. Because that also is a bit like, ugh, but connection is so much better. Okay. Your audience doesn't need extra noise in the background from you. They want to feel something because there's lots of noise in the background already across digital marketing. So people want to feel something. And I'm sure that you're probably thinking this is very hard, Hayley. It is if you haven't done the work. Okay. Because when you do the work, when you have the strategy behind how you show up, it's actually very easy. And you can just show up and show up and show up and show up. And you are meaningful, you are creating connection, and you are authentic. And that then your vibe attracts your tribe every single time. So I think when you connect through your emotion, your empathy, the values that you have, I think that you don't necessarily just attract followers. Your follower count won't go up. Okay. You attract that loyal customer, and that's what you want. Okay. You would have heard this heaps of times that, if you are upset that you have 50 Instagram followers, let's just say, don't be, because that would book out a cinema, a small cinema. And that is pretty good. If they are all your ideal clients and they each and every one of them, every one of them reached out and wanted to book you 50, could you support that influx? Now, probably not, depending on if you had a scalable product or not. Probably not. And so think about it that way, is that as long as you have a small but mighty an intention-driven audience, that's all that matters. Okay, so those 3 pillars that I've talked about are clarity in and around your messaging, first and foremost, consistency in your presence and the way that you show up, and connection with intent. So connection with intention. And I think each one on its own is very powerful. But when you bring them all together, your marketing becomes very magnetic. Okay. It's not just visible, it's irresistible. Okay. And you are felt and you are also trusted, which are really important. And I think that when we get busy in our business, we forget how important still continuing to do this is. And I want to remind you that there is so many people that need what it is that you have to offer that are waiting to find you in these spaces. Okay, if you were to attract like 1% of Instagram's audience, that's like it's probably changed now, but from the top of my head, the figure that I remember is like 230,000, could be more. You could not support that many people. So just think this space is yours for the taking. Use it carefully and cleverly and strategically, and the rest will come. Okay, you got to put in the work. So don't forget that. And I think that if you are to take one thing out of today's episode, it's not just what you say, it's how you show up. Okay. And I think if you are ready to tap into that level of how you show up, that level of clarity in your message, consistency on how you present and continue to show up, and connection with intention, then mark this date in your calendar. Drum roll. So, Tuesday, the 16th of September, very soon, is the day that I open the doors next to Magnetic Marketing Formula. Okay, that's my 8-week course that is designed specifically for health brands who are ready to grow their visibility. If you're ready to grow your visibility, then this is definitely for you. You're ready to start attracting your dream clients. You know that that stone in your shoe can only stay in there for so long before you have to take your shoe off and do something about it. And without burnout, without hustle, without compromising who you are as a person, you'll learn how to build a powerful magnetic foundation that is rooted in your truth, not in trends. Okay. And a strategy that works because it feels good for you, which is really important for me. And messaging that connects because it is real and it resonates with people. It's not about doing more, it's about doing it right and doing it with energy, with intention, and with confidence. So, doors open on Tuesday, the 16th of September. Spaces are limited. So, I would get on the wait list because you will get first access and a special bonus. And oh my God, if I sell out that wait list, there will be no launch, which I'm not mad about. But let's get there first. You can add your name on the wait list now. Doors will open 48 hours before to the wait list, before doors actually open on the 16th, which is super cool. And if you join via the waitlist, you do get some special epic bonuses, which this is one of my favorite parts. Until next time, guys, keep showing up with everything that you have. Let your energy lead the way in this space. And remember that your marketing is already magnetic. We're just going to make sure, I want to make sure that everybody else sees it and knows you. All right, guys, that is a wrap for this episode. I will catch you next week. Bye.